If you're over 60, you've probably noticed something frustrating. Losing belly fat feels harder than ever. Even when you eat less, even when you try to stay active, the fat around your waist just doesn't want to budge. That stubborn fat isn't just ordinary fat. It's visceral fat, the kind that sits deep inside the abdomen, surrounding organs like the liver, pancreas, and intestines. And this type of fat becomes more dangerous and more persistent with age. Today, we're talking about one simple habit that directly targets visceral fat. A habit that's backed by research, easy to start, and incredibly effective for people over 60. If you've struggled with weight around your midsection, low energy, inflammation, or slow metabolism, this one habit can help you turn things around. Now, before we get to the actual habit, we need to understand why visceral fat becomes such a challenge after age 60. As we get older, several physiological changes kick in. Your metabolism slows down. Hormones like cortisol and insulin become harder to regulate. Muscle mass decreases. Stress affects the body more intensely. All of this creates a perfect environment for visceral fat to accumulate. Unlike subcutaneous fat, the kind you can pinch, visceral fat lives deep inside the body. It's metabolically active, meaning it releases inflammatory chemicals that affect your health. It increases the risk of diabetes, heart disease, fatty liver, digestive issues, and even cognitive decline. But here's the important part. Visceral fat responds to lifestyle habits faster than almost any other type of fat. And one habit, especially for people over 60, works consistently, safely, and quickly. What is it? It's walking immediately after meals. Walking right after meals is one of the most underrated habits for metabolic health, digestion, and visceral fat reduction, especially for people over 50 and 60. Even though it sounds incredibly simple, research shows it has a powerful effect on the body. Here's exactly why this works, how it works, and how to use this habit to maximize fat loss and health benefits. 1. What happens in the body after you eat? When you finish a meal, your body begins breaking down the food into glucose, sugar, amino acids, and fatty acids. Of these, glucose has the biggest immediate impact on your metabolism. After you eat, blood glucose, blood sugar rises, the pancreas releases insulin, insulin moves glucose into cells, excess glucose is stored as fat, especially visceral fat. As we age, especially after 50 to 60 years old, the body becomes less efficient at handling glucose. Muscle cells respond slower to insulin. The pancreas works harder. Blood sugar spikes become larger and last longer. These long-lasting spikes and high insulin levels are the primary drivers of visceral fat accumulation. 2. Why walking after meals helps? Walking is a gentle, low-intensity activity, but metabolically, it's extremely effective. When you walk right after eating, your muscles become active. And active muscles pull glucose directly from the bloodstream, even without insulin. This means blood sugar rises less, insulin stays lower, less fat is stored, more energy is burned immediately. In other words, walking after meals turns your muscles into glucose sponges. This is why walking after meals is more effective for blood sugar control than walking once a day at any random time. 3. Walking helps reduce visceral fat. Visceral fat is the dangerous fat surrounding your organs. It's highly responsive to changes in insulin, blood glucose, stress hormones, daily movement. Because walking reduces all three, it directly targets visceral fat. Even slow, relaxed walking reduces inflammation, increases fat oxidation, improves insulin sensitivity, reduces waist circumference, improves liver health. Several studies show that 10 to 15 minutes of walking after meals can improve metabolic health as much as a 30-minute long walk done at another time. 4. Benefits for digestion. As we age, digestion naturally slows down. Many people experience bloating, acid reflux, constipation, feeling heavy after meals. Walking right after eating activates the gastrocolic reflex, a natural, gentle wave-like movement in the digestive tract. This helps move food downward, reduce gas and bloating, prevent heartburn, improve nutrient absorption, prevent constipation. This is why many cultures traditionally take an evening walk after dinner, not knowing the science, but understanding the benefits. 5. Benefits for hormones and stress. Visceral fat responds strongly to cortisol, the stress hormone. High cortisol equals more belly fat storage. Walking after meals reduces cortisol by calming the nervous system, improving circulation, lowering inflammatory signals, releasing tension from the body. This is especially important for people over 60, because the body becomes more sensitive to stress with age. 6. How long should you walk? Research shows that even 2 minutes of slow walking has a measurable effect on blood sugar. But optimal results come from 10 to 20 minutes, at a gentle or moderate pace, within 10 minutes of finishing the meal. You do not need to power walk. You do not need to sweat. You do not need to treat this like a workout. A calm, comfortable stroll works perfectly. 7. What if you can't go outside? Great news, any movement works. If the weather is bad or mobility is limited, you can walk around your home, walk down a hallway, walk in place, march while seated, use a treadmill at low speed, do slow step touches or gentle indoor steps. The key is movement, not location. 8. When is the best time to do it? The most effective time is after your largest meal, usually dinner. This is when blood sugar spikes more, digestion is slower, cortisol is higher, fat storage is more likely. However, walking after any meal is beneficial. 9. How fast do you see results? Most people notice improvements in 3 to 7 days, better digestion, less bloating, 2 weeks, lower cravings, better energy, 4 weeks, smaller waistline, improved blood sugar, 6 to 8 weeks, reduced visceral fat, 3 months, major metabolic improvements. This works especially well for people over 60 because their bodies respond strongly to consistent, gentle movement. 10. Why this simple habit is more powerful than most workouts. High-intensity workouts raise cortisol and can cause stress on joints for older adults. Walking after meals does the opposite, lowers cortisol, improves insulin sensitivity, supports joints, reduces inflammation, prevents fat storage. It's gentle, sustainable, and can be done anywhere. This makes it one of the most effective fat loss habits for people over 60. 11. Summary of why walking after meals works. Reduces blood sugar spikes. Lowers insulin. Prevents fat storage. Targets visceral fat specifically. Reduces inflammation. Improves digestion. Supports hormone balance. Strengthens the heart. Safe for joints. Improves sleep and energy. A tiny habit with massive impact. Especially after your largest meal of the day. This might sound too simple to be effective, but let me explain what happens in your body. After you eat, your blood sugar rises. When blood sugar spikes, insulin rises too. Insulin's job is to store energy, and when insulin goes up repeatedly, the body stores more fat around the organs. A short walk, even just 10 minutes, brings down blood sugar, lowers insulin, improves digestion, and tells the body to burn energy instead of storing it. And this habit becomes even more powerful with age, because digestion slows down and insulin resistance becomes more common after 60. A quick post-meal walk is like pressing a reset button on your metabolism. Studies show that people who walk after meals significantly reduce visceral fat even when they don't change their diet. Now, before we go deeper into how this habit works and how to do it correctly, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment or some activity on the channel. It really helps grow the community here and ensures you don't miss future videos that are designed to help you stay strong, healthy, and active at any age. Alright, let's continue. Walking after meals does more than just stabilize blood sugar. It also activates large muscle groups, especially the legs and glutes, and those muscles use glucose for fuel. Instead of letting sugar circulate in your bloodstream or get stored as fat, your muscles pull it in and burn it. That alone makes walking after meals more effective than doing a single long walk once a day. Another major benefit for people over 60 is the impact on digestion. A short post-meal walk helps move food through the digestive tract. This reduces bloating, acid reflux, constipation, and abdominal pressure, all of which tend to increase as we age. When digestion improves, the body becomes more efficient at using nutrients and less likely to store fat. But what makes this habit especially powerful for visceral fat is that it lowers cortisol, the stress hormone. Chronic stress, even mild daily stress, makes the body store fat in the midsection. Walking is one of the fastest ways to reduce cortisol naturally. Combine that with stable blood sugar, and you've created the perfect environment for visceral fat loss. Now let's talk about how to do this habit correctly so you actually see results. First, walk after every medium or large meal. Even one walk per day is helpful, but doing it consistently after meals multiplies the benefits. Second, you don't need to walk fast. Gentle to moderate walking works best because it keeps your heart rate in a fat-burning zone and improves digestion. Think of it as a relaxing stroll, not a workout. Third, aim for 10 to 20 minutes. If you can only do 5 minutes at first, that's okay. Consistency matters more than perfection. Fourth, walk within 10 minutes of finishing your meal. This timing helps your body manage blood sugar effectively. And fifth, if the weather is bad, walk inside your home, down a hallway, or even in place. The key is movement, not mileage. You might be wondering, how fast does this habit reduce visceral fat? Most people begin to notice changes in 2 to 4 weeks. Their waistline feels looser. They have more energy. They experience fewer digestive problems. Sleep improves. And because visceral fat is metabolically active, it shrinks faster than subcutaneous fat once you change your habits. But if you want to accelerate the results even more, you can combine your post-meal walks with 2 additional supportive habits. First, increase your protein intake slightly, because muscle mass naturally declines after 60. More muscle means a faster metabolism. Second, prioritize fiber, vegetables, berries, chia seeds, whole grains, because fiber helps stabilize blood sugar and reduce inflammation. However, even without adding anything else, the simple daily habit of walking after meals is enough to transform your health. One of the things I love about this routine is that it's safe for every fitness level. You don't need special equipment, you don't need a gym, and you don't need long workouts that stress your joints. It's gentle, effective, and sustainable. Let's also address a concern many people have: what if I have knee pain? Interestingly, short post-meal walks can reduce joint pain because movement circulates synovial fluid to lubricate the joints. Just keep your pace slow and focus on good posture. If walking outside is difficult, indoor walking or even seated marching can still activate your muscles and lower blood sugar. Another common question is, what time of day is best to walk? The most powerful time is after dinner. Evening blood sugar spikes tend to be the strongest, especially as we age. A walk after dinner can significantly reduce nighttime glucose levels, improve sleep, and directly target visceral fat storage. But remember, consistency is the real key. Any meal, any time of day, just move afterward. If you stick with this habit for a month, you will notice not just weight-related changes, but improvements in your overall well-being. You'll likely feel lighter, more stable in your energy levels, less bloated, more mobile, and more in control of your health. This simple habit also lowers the risk of insulin resistance, fatty liver disease, and cardiovascular problems, all of which become more common with age. One more bonus benefit: walking after meals increases longevity. Movement after eating is one of the habits linked to longer lifespans in various cultures around the world. It's not intense exercise that keeps people healthy into old age. It's frequent, gentle movement throughout the day. So if you're over 60 and you want to reduce visceral fat quickly and safely, remember this. You don't need extreme workouts. You don't need restrictive diets. You don't need supplements. You need one simple, consistent habit. Walk after your meals, and let your metabolism do the rest. If you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe, hit like, and stay connected. It really supports the channel and helps us continue creating content that keeps you healthy and strong at any age. And before you go, be sure to check out the other videos on the channel. They dive deeper into metabolism, healthy aging, blood sugar control, and simple habits that work especially well for people over 50 and 60. Those videos connect perfectly with today's topic and will give you even more tools to burn fat, boost energy, and support your long-term health. Make sure to watch them next. They'll help you make faster progress and understand your body better. Thanks for watching, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.